Welcome to Your Known Unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light on what's unknown to you. Welcome back. Welcome here. Welcome to the channel. I hope this message finds you well. Thank you for returning, and thank you if this is your first time seeing me here. You know we all really appreciate you. We're going to pull some cards to see what kind of messages want to come through, see what needs to be seen, needs to be known. We've had a lot of intense shifts lately, for me specifically, after the eclipses and all of the shifting from this year, from the beginning. It's been nuts, so I can only imagine for you, the viewer. Let's see what we can find out for all of us, shall we? I'm going to ring a bell. I'm going to tap in, clear this energy, cleanse this space. If you're sensitive to sound, turn down your volume a bit. That was actually a really subtle one, so don't worry, you're not going deaf. It was soft. Happy Sunday. Without further ado, let's get to it. Let's into it. Let's pull some cards for you today. So, you are on a path for yourself, right? Obviously. But this reading is saying that you are on the path for yourself. Might be invisible, might be incoherent, might be indistinguishable, but it's happening. Don't let things in life affect you to such a degree that you no longer can take control of yourself and your environment, like your reality. You want to sit within the balance of listening into yourself and being resistantless to the external world, you know? And yeah, it's tough. Yes, things change. Yes, you have to adapt internally to the external, because everybody has an external and an internal, and they are all affected differently. Everyone is three sides of a coin, to each their own, you know? And it's tough to remember that at times, but at the same time, honoring your emotions and being able to express them appropriately is a challenge. A lot of the times you start to see where pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing doesn't do you any justice anymore. And I think that right now in your story, you're at a space where you're realizing pushing externally doesn't do anything. All it does is stab holes, you know, burn bridges. You can't force reality. You can control reality, but only within yourself. And here we are with another paradox, right? so to say. But you find out that every time you push and push and push, you get disappointed. You get hurt, or you hurt somebody, or you're not representing yourself appropriately, or something like that. So what is our option? You know, what are we supposed to do? Especially when we're opening up into ourselves. Emotions are even more volatile than a kid's, you know, like they fly off the handle. The worst part about it is that you're just aware of it this time. It's not just who you are, it's not only who you are, but it is who you've been, and it's all the work that you have to do to be able to overcome that type of behavior as well. And it's not for the faint of heart. So if you're here watching this, you might be lined up with some of the few that have a higher calling because of the amount of work that is ahead of you and the amount of work that it will take, so you are no longer pushing boulders uphill. That foundation's laid, you know? There is an out of balance right now, though. I will say that. Obviously, you're seeking guidance, and I do see that recently you've been kind of, I want to say hurt, but I'm going to say like punctured by some realism. You've been punctured by like an aha moment. And it is up to you to fill that void up with light. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you straight up, like, you've done some things that were like, ooh, shit, my bad. I really didn't mean that. And now you have to do the work to correct that or remedy that. It's not necessarily a physical or like a social, material kind of change up for a lot of people too. It could be in your story, or it could be internal. But you're like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Time to right these wrongs. And like a simple I'm sorry, I won't do it again might not work anymore. You're starting to hit barriers in yourself that are a little deeper than, out of all the work you've done to move problems and traumas out of the way. You know, you're starting to hit some things that might be a little bit more gripping into your soul, that needs some very distinct shadow work or something like that. I see that you're kind of ebbing and flowing between balancing, okay? So it's like, you know, you're doing this, but within this motion, it's like balanced, out of balanced, balanced, out of balanced, balanced, out of balance. And we're just doing this. So, temperance. Wait. Chill. Things are gonna unfold. You have the Sun card clarifying all of this major lineup right now, okay? The Sun card. So you're doing the right things. You're moving the right direction. Just chill. And yeah, that's easier said than done. But just chill. Are going to be okay. Just chill. Your routines will come back. Your mindsets will come back. You just need to either put yourself into the appropriate environment to allow that to take hold within you, or learn how to do the tough shit and you change your insights and your external environment adapts around you. But Why do the hard work when the easy work is available to you? Chill. Relax. Four of Swords. Take your time. Slow, structural thinking. Plan. Meditate and wait. Be at peace. Have some faith. And know that you are strong. You're so strong that you're the only one that's able to tear you down, and you have been. But within that, you've been fighting back those slip-ups that you've been falling into. And the work is getting really hard because it's day in and day out. Yes, but be patient and keep doing that. And keep trying to set yourself back up for success. Interesting. My thought is, what do we have to watch out for what's holding us back? And I got the Sun card, most positive card in the deck, right? Watch out for your dreams being the catalyst for procrastination and crippling fear to engage in that which you are supposed to be doing and want to do and need to do, so you can move from this moment that you're in now. Okay? It's telling me, don't let the grand scheme of things keep you here due to overwhelm and anxiety. Clear the energies, get back to straight thinking, structural thinking, concrete thinking, planning, listening, self-development, move yourself, develop yourself. Self-development doesn't have to be internal. It can be spiritual, emotional, physical. You're developing yourself in one way or another. And in a quantum world, everything's entangled. I think you got to kind of realize that. You might not be moving one thing, but in reality, you are shifting something all of the time. Just depends on where your focus is at. And if things aren't working out for you, and they're big things that aren't working out for you, maybe shift your focus to find a way to think differently and tackle these issues in a different way. If you stop thinking and let go of control of your mind, the answers will come. Then at that point, it is up to you to actuate those. You get shown what to do, and you're like, oh no, I can't do that. And that is just your mind limiting you. Yeah, really, you can do that. Yeah, really, that is Spirit's way to tell you, hey, you can do this. Hey, quit your job. And you're like, no. And they're like, why? Do you not think you can figure it out? And you're like, I can figure anything out. And they're like, then quit your job. Don't quit your job. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that a lot of the answers come through that drastic at times. Just remember, Spirit knows you, loves you, is you. So there isn't a wrong choice. Sometimes I've had that, quit your job, start your own job kind of thing. My fears have stepped in and kept me from taking those jumps. In a sense, I'm grateful. But also in a sense, I knew at that point in time, Spirit knows that I know it's drastic and knows that I'm here to co-create and knows that I will compromise. So it wants to throw a drastic black or white out there. And I go, where's the gray here? Where's the gray? Can we turn that gray silver? Can we make this perfect, please? Perfect for me? Spirit's like, I like that. And you have to create your own relationship with this too. To a degree, you have to be crazy. You have to talk to yourself. And even more crazy, you have to listen to yourself. And even more crazy, you have to trust yourself. But is that really crazy? Or is that just sovereign, Everything that they don't want us to be. It is whatever it is to you. But what I'm saying is, don't let the grand scheme of things keep you down. Take those steps. The story will unfold that way. And that's the only way to get over like procrastinative traumas and shit. You know, you have to be able to take these small baby steps to start to see, when you look back in hindsight, some things that make you proud of yourself. And then you start to build some self-esteem. You start to build some confidence. You start to build some trust. It takes a little time. To some stubborn guys, it takes a long time, but to each their own. You are you perfectly. And you should get to know you. You're going to practice. And with that practice, you will fail. But you will learn. That's the best part. Yeah. Okay. Something very particular here. You need to spend some time by yourself. And I'm not saying you got to go out in the woods and have a spirit journey. I'm saying you just need to spend some time by yourself. Without vices, without distractions. Okay? Social media is a distraction. Alcohol is a distraction. Video games are a distraction. Realistically, even in this sense, hobbies and passions and work are distractions. You need to sit down with yourself and write out a plan. Write out a plan that's for you. Yes, it will change, but you'll get a lot of this clutter out here and onto something that you don't have to remember or try to remember or exhaust yourself looking for up here. You know it's right there. You know what the plan was. You know where the steps could be. You start to create a character out of your story, a actual representation, a model of your story. Right? That's the beauty of writing and planning and free thinking and imagination. You know? Think of how you can get out of what you're doing now to set yourself up for more luxury then. You know? Here to come. You know what you want, you just don't know where it is yet, but you have to start looking. You have to start trying. You have to go take that car out for a test drive. And before you buy that one, you should go try out 5 more first. You can go talk to the dealership guy and be like, look, I'm new at this shit and I just don't want to be lied to. Like, here's my situation. Can you be a person and relate to me? And I promise you, 9 out of 10 times, they'll be like, absolutely. And they do have you in mind. Maybe not in heart, but in mind. They will try. And if they are some skeezy person, they will get theirs. Don't worry. Fear isn't real. You know? You're gonna learn something. My mustache is doing crazy shit. You're gonna learn something along the way. So that's the most valuable thing. It is tough, but be grateful, you know? Be grateful for the pain. Be grateful for the heartbreak. Be grateful for the fear that you're experiencing, because that's where you got to start looking. That's where you have to start doing the thing. Maybe it's not a car. Maybe it's a house. Maybe it's a job change. Maybe it's a relationship. I'm not seeing a lot of there's a little cups here, but it's not that kind of cups. It's explaining where you've been with the cups. right now they want me to really just reiterate, like, when it gets quiet, that's when the answers come. When things are the most quiet, that's when you have the chance to hear it. And I know that that's just like woo woo shit, but it's true. If you're not intoxicated and can spend some time with your thoughts in a piece of paper, you might get somewhere. And it is the trick. That's just the trick, you know? And I see, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You're perpetuating your problem. Look, you shouldn't drink. That shit's poison. You shouldn't smoke. It's killing you. You need to quit. You shouldn't habitually spend or emotionally spend money, and you shouldn't emotionally eat. It's gonna kill you. It's fucking you up. It's diminishing your power and manifestation abilities. You want to be a magical spiritual mage, you need to fine tune your body. During my spiritual awakening, I will tell you, one thing I realized and was taught was that the human body is the most amazing and precious thing that we will ever be gifted. And we're all just sabotaging it. Sabotaging it. And yeah, it didn't have to start that way. You know, society started it that way for us, and then that's how we think. But then Spirit loves you enough to give you a few nudges in your story of life, and you're able to learn some lessons and see some things and keep growing your story, your lifetimes, your karma, your dharma. You are in school. You need to continue on. You're not letting go of something or some things. These things give your pleasure body a good sense, but let's just call it your disciplinary body could use a little bit more focus. You need to set some real standards for yourself for this next chapter. I feel like while you were still kind of closing the pages on the last chapter, you might have picked up a few slip-ups again, and those slip-ups are some neurologically triggering things for you because they've been with you for life, even though you spent years really trying to control it or at least understand it. You know, it was very tough and stressful the last handfuls of months, and no shame there, but it's time to pull up your, your big boy pants and start doing the work again, because this chapter is here and this chapter is moving, and you don't want to waste it. You don't want to procrastinate it away, and you want the most out of it that you can, right? You want the most back in return that you can possibly get, right? So that's up to you. You're going to get out of it what you put into it, period. And I kind of think that that's kind of a more basic human simplicity that we all undergo. And I think we call it growing up, you know? So in a more brash term, it's time to grow up for yourself, for your body, not to show everybody else how responsible you are, but to cultivate your integrity, your discipline, your virtues, and actually, do what you preach, kind of thing. And yeah, looking at that mask is difficult. It's not easy. Help yourself make it easy somehow. Find something and then control that thing. Don't let it get out of control for you. it's like you're using kind of 1/3 of your tools, you know? There was a point, probably in the last 5 to 10 years, a long period, where you were utilizing and getting to know and understanding all your tools. All your tools. And due to the influx of stress happening while this chapter is closing, you kind of are like, ooh, these tools, and then it's like distract for the other 2/3 of your magician abilities, your manifestation self, your spirit, your alignment, whatever you want to call it. There's many pendulums in life. Some relate on different timelines, and they're all ever fractaling. It's like fourth dimensional. It's weird to fathom that if you fractal one thing down, it keeps going, So, yes, you're moving along, but you're right now moving along with a very big limp. Like, your leg right now is pins and needles dead, and you're dragging it, and it's like, oh, fuck. Really? Yeah, really. So, get back to the discipline. You know it makes you feel good. Yes, it's hard. Yes, your ego says it's difficult. Yes, your body doesn't want to quit doing these things. But, don't let your body control you. That's the name of the game. Control your body. Then control your mind. Control your thoughts, which you can't do. Controlling them is letting them go. Lose control of it. And in return, you gain control of everything. Yes, it is a paradox. And if it doesn't make sense, okay. It's not really supposed to. Just do that. Do that till you start to see what I'm talking about, Let go of those things. Stop buying that stuff. Stop drinking caffeine. Stop drinking booze. Stop doing drugs. Stop having lustful sex, Quit it. Quit it. Stop causing drama. Stop gossiping. Stop lying to yourself. Please. For all of us. Myself included, I just want you to know that everything that I say here on this channel, I do say directly to myself. I don't know if you know how this works, but I'm looking at myself right now. This whole time I'm talking, I'm pulling energies, and I know that we all collectively share stories and we're all entangled. So I know it resonates somewhere, somehow, some way. But the fact of the matter is all tarot readers are doing is really pulling an energy for themselves, which connects to other people deeply, because we are all connected. We can all do the same things. We can all be billionaires. It's just we haven't cataloged that, and maybe that energy that's specific is theirs. They're their own IP address. I'm my own IP address. Period. But we're all internet together, Another one. Interesting. Right now, I don't know if you've noticed lately, but the world kind of feels like shit. And if we're not capable at the moment to fathom how to fix the world, the only thing that you can do is work on yourself. You don't actually have to go and sit and meditate. You kind of meditate anytime you zone out. When they say gain control and learn to observe It's comprehending what you're going through in those zone out moments when somebody goes, "Hey, what were they just saying?" You're like, "Oh, I don't know. I was spacing out." Yeah, but what were you thinking about when you were spacing out? Because your brain didn't stop working. You were spacing out on something. And being able to observe that and catalog that, recognize it, and listen to it is trusting your intuition. We do it when we drive. We do it when we're doing remedial, repetitive tasks. We do it when we're doing yard work and moving our body, when we're walking with no music, no distractions, when we're just there, being present with our thoughts. That's it. That's it. That's why it's important to sit and the piece of paper and a pen help you catalog it so you can remember, so you can practice co-creating with yourself, listening to your intuition, finding it, relating to it, knowing it, your known unknowns, get to know them. They come in when we're not sitting there going, what should I do next? They won't come to you then. They come in when you're sitting there or you're walking or you're driving and you're like, I'm not in a rush. I will get there when I get there. Your mind has no anxiety of the future. Your gut is loosey-goosey. You are comfortable. You take a breath and you know that this next thought you have is not your own. Doesn't mean it's someone else's. It could be guidance, but it is up to you to decipher it how you please. And that ultimately will cultivate the strength if you observe and allow. I think they say don't let your thoughts curate emotions, like don't let go of the thought, don't hang on to it kind of thing. And that's because, in my opinion, if I get the answers, I usually get that crippling fear of, oh my God, I have to do that if I want this. I can't do it. That's why. Let it go. You just heard the answer. You know what to do. Now, trust that the universe will place it perfectly for you. So you don't really have to worry. The exact time will happen, and you will either be ready or you will learn a lesson. And either way, that is what is supposed to be. Let go of the control. It will give you all the control. 3333 when I said that. We are complete. I'm going to take a deep breath and disconnect from this channel. You can join with me if you'd like. We're going to be okay. It's just tough right now. And that's okay. Because you're built for whatever you're going through. Yeah, we're going to end it here. If any of this resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. I love you so much. And we'll get back in the moon phases next time. And until then, I'll see y'all next Sunday. Much love.